Hello everyone, welcome to ROAM, a dedicated YouTube channel for robotics and automation. This channel will provide informational, in-depth and professional video tutorials at regular intervals. Please subscribe and visit this channel for updates on robotics and automation. Please comment below with topics of your interest to help you better and contact us with the details given below for further information. Happy learning! Robots are complex machines that can sense, actuate, and move as programmed. As they automate and emulate actions of physical world, multiple engineering systems come together to build them. Broadly, the basic building blocks of robotics and automation can be grouped under three categories. Robot structure, focused on the form of robot and its mechanisms powered by the drives to perform the intended function with the use of end effectors to interact with the job environment. Electronics and electrical hardware. The electronics and electrical hardware essentially drives the robot structure. The hardware transforms the mechanics of a robot into electrical domain and lets software and programming to drive the robot functionality. The hardware, in a way, becomes the interface through which the external world, including human beings, interact with the robot. Software and programming. The software is the brain behind a robot. Without the software, the robot will not function or not function as intended and can lead to hazards. Software programming gives the users an easy way of configuring, deploying, and programming a robot to function in various roles. Having touched upon the basic building blocks, in this video, we look into and understand the various aspects involved in the robot structure. As robots are designed to do specific set of tasks in specific job environments, the components are designed to withstand the stresses, vibration, wear and tear during its operating life cycle to achieve the required accuracy, repeatability, and precision. Robot structures are designed to integrate various mechanisms and joints which enables robots have certain degrees of freedom with translational or rotational or both relative motions. For example, in an industrial robot, the robot arm with the shoulder, elbow, and wrist move and twist to position the end effector. Each of these joints gives the robot another degree of freedom. A simple robot with 3 degrees of freedom can move up and down, left and right, and forward and backward. Many industrial robots in factories are 6-axis robots. Because of the various relative motion in robots, rigid body kinematics and dynamics are studied in determining kinematic velocity, joint torque, workspace, and power of the drives. With more degrees of freedom, the kinematic analysis complexity increases as more joint positions are to be studied while designing the robots. The robots are mostly designed in four major configurations based on their shape, size, functional need, etc. Cylindrical configuration robots incorporates a slide in the horizontal position and a column in the vertical position. It also includes a robot arm at the end of the slide capable of moving in up and down motion with the help of the column and can reach the workspace in a rotary movement as like a cylinder. Polar or spherical configuration robots will possess an arm which can move up and down. It compromises of a rotational base along with a pivot. It has one linear and two rotary joints that allows the robot to operate in a spherical work volume. In jointed arm configuration, the arm in robots looks almost like a human arm. It gets 3 rotary joints and 3 wrist axes which form into 6 degrees of freedom. As a result, it has the capability to be controlled at any adjustment in workspace. These types of robots are used for performing several operations like spray painting, spot welding, arc welding, and more. Cartesian coordinate configuration, also called as XYZ robots, because it is equipped with 3 rotary joints for assembling XYZ axes. The robots will process in a rectangular workspace by means of these 3 joint movements. It is capable of carrying high payloads with the help of its rigid structure. It is mainly integrated in some functions like pick and place, material handling, loading and unloading, and so on. Additionally, this configuration adds a name of gantry robot. The robot mechanisms are driven by electrical, hydraulic, and pneumatic drives for the translational and rotational motion with the required speed and power. The electrical drives are usually used in small robots that need high power or speed. These drives are able to achieve high accuracy, precision, and repeatability. Servo motors and stepper motors are commonly used electrical drives. The hydraulic drives are majorly used in large robots and are able to provide higher power or speed than electrical drives. When actuators provide rotational motion and hydraulic pistons provide translational motion, oil leaks is the main concern in these drives. The pneumatic drives are used in small robots that need slower operations and have less than 5 degrees of freedom. These drives cost less when compared to hydraulic drives. End effectors are special mechanisms designed and attached to the robot arm to interact with the environment. Depending on the nature of work, there are several end effectors that are used today in the industry. Grippers are the most commonly used end effectors that allow the robot to grasp small parts and manipulate them. Machine tools such as drills, grinding wheels, cutting wheels, and sanders are also used end effectors. Laser and water jet cutters as end effectors use high intensity laser beams or high pressure abrasive water jets to cut sheet metal or fiberglass parts to required form or shape. Measuring probe or gauge are used as end effectors that allow the robot to precisely measure parts by running the arm lightly over the parts. Welding torches, automatic spray painting, automatic spot or trajectory gluing end effectors in robots are applied in the automotive and other industries. Some robot systems are equipped with automatic tool changers to extend the usefulness of the robot to do more tasks. Work envelope or robot workspace is the maximum robot reach or volume within which a robot can operate. This is usually specified as a combination of the limits of each of the robot's components. In work cells, robots are positioned along with other machines or humans to coordinate the movements required for the job. For example, a robot doing welding on an automotive assembly line must coordinate with a conveyor that is moving the car frame and a laser positioning or inspection robot that uses a laser beam to locate the position of the weld and then inspect the quality of the weld when it is complete. Robot simulations are done using computer software with realistic graphics without the robot hardware for planning the robot trajectory or path and work cell layout. Simulations are also used for planning robot placements and sequencing of operations to work in coordination for automation of processes, which in turn help in improving productivity and efficiency in factory operations. AutoCAD and SolidWorks are industry standards for 3D design. 3D printing works directly from AutoCAD files. Most manufacturers of robots use proprietary software to program the equipment, although knowledge of Python or C++ provides a good base. Some of them are listed in this video. Finally, to get the required accuracy, repeatability, and precision in robot operations, the manufacturing processes should be able to achieve the dimension of the parts with tight tolerances. Precision machining, casting, forging, forming, molding are some of the common manufacturing processes used for making the robot parts. Welding, riveting, fastening, and other joining processes are employed in assembling the robot structure. Finished processes like powder coating, painting, plating, resin blending, etc. are to be controlled with utmost precision to get the desired aesthetics and appearance of robot. Thus, we can understand that to achieve the required precision in manufacturing for getting the parts without defects or very least defects, the quality control processes are important. Inspections, control charts, flow charts, Pareto diagram, statistical process control, total quality management, and other quality management tools are necessary and applied in the industry today. That brings us to the end of this video. We thank you for visiting this channel and watching this video. Please subscribe to this channel to get updates on new videos in your inbox directly. Keep visiting this channel and keep learning.